All right, Will, go ahead.
Afternoon, Christian. How are you?
Oh, hey,
A-
Will. All right,
Afternoon, Christian.
Good afternoon, Will. I'm fine, thank you. You?
I'm ecstatic. In terms of from Wednesday to Saturday, I know that there obviously is a quick turnaround there. Is there anybody that wasn't available Wednesday that you envision potentially being available tomorrow?
You mean in the squad? In the squad?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we have a possibility with Kerwin Vargas to have him back. We will see. He trained with us today. To me, he looks that improved, and we will see how he react after this training session. He could be one that could be included in the squad. We will see.
I know we haven't asked you this in a while. What can you give us a progress update on Guzman Carujo and how he's progressing and what are the next steps for him?
I think Guzman is approaching the moment where he will join with the squad in the day of the game. He already trains with us. He does vastly part of training. So I think we are very close to seeing back in contention. Obviously, we need to see how he does in more, let's say, when training will become a little bit more strong and strenuous. At the moment, we are just, doing what we need to do in order to keep fit the boys that didn't play and to give rest to the one that they played because the games are so close to each other. And for Guzman, we are approaching. He's not ready yet to be included in the squad, but we are not far either.
That's good news for him. And in terms of Brandon, how have you seen him respond?
And for us.
Yes, absolutely. Very much so. In terms of Brandon, how have you seen him respond off of what happened Wednesday? How do you keep a guy like that humble? I know that there's a lot of extra stuff that comes around what happened to him on Wednesday, what he was able to accomplish on Wednesday. How do you keep that guy's mind right?
Listen, the important thing is, as I said after the game, it doesn't change my view. This is, again, typical of small mentality that you do well and then all of a sudden, I think the kid has got a good head on his shoulder. I think he has got good family. He has good friends. He trained like nothing happened, and rightly so. We need to keep him grounded because he did very well what he had to do, but we don't have to be carried away with the fact that now we have, a superstar. We have a guy that did very well and competently his job when he was asked to do so. But then he needs to go back to work and improve all the things that we know that he has to improve like everybody else. So it's important to do not believe everything that is written about you in the good or in the bad, because unfortunately we live in this era where the social, they have this huge influence on people. But he has to, my little advice I can give him, because he could be my son. If he was my son, I would say to him, listen to the guys that really love you, which is your parents, your family, your close friends, teammates, and the coaches, that they have your career and your welfare at heart. And then just because if you believe what they write and then after, when expectations are out there, then if he doesn't score for 3 or 4 games, then the usual comments. And instead we said it many times, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We need to build him as a player. I love his attitude, and I think with him I don't have this worry that I have to keep it grounded, because he's a grounded kid already.
Good stuff. Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, John.
Christian, just talk about that performance by Brandon against Chicago. Obviously, he was named MLS Player of the Week for that match day. So, just what did you like besides the 2 goals that he scored about his performance?
First of all, the 2 goals for me, they are great because he showed composure inside the box. He showed composure in moments where he had a lot of pressure around. Just in terms of the result, but in terms of physically defenders around him. So these 2 goals for me, they have to be analyzed and to see how long he has come and how well he has done in those moments. What I liked about him is the character to which he responded. But I know that he has a kid that he has a lot of fire inside him. And so I like that when his first control wasn't the best, he reacted well. I love also the way he played with patience when the ball came to him. A couple of times he had pressure immediately from the left back that was a good aggressive player, and instead of banking, he protected the ball and he gave it back to our defenders in order to move the play again. I think the second goal comes from ball be playing to him. He protects it, he gives it back. Then can move the block that Chicago did with us until the ball goes back to him. And this patience from a young guy like him, I love this, as well as his ability in the 1v1 and to be direct. Also the cross that he put forward when we were still 1-1, I thought he deserved maybe a better finishing.
I mentioned this to Jalen the other day, but having a veteran like Justin Moran come into the team, obviously with Ashley Westwood, who has a lot of experience, do you feel like that not just their play, but just the way they can lead by example has rubbed off on the young guys like Jalen and Ben and Brandon?
Of course. And this is the point of getting the right players in with the right attitude and the right qualities, football qualities. And not only them, especially the young, but also in my experience, even in big clubs, when you bring a player that has got that kind of experience, that kind of ability, or that kind of bubbly personality, you can also rub off senior players, not just the young one. The young ones, of course, they can learn a different way of playing the position. So, for example, even for players like Egert, just see similar to that kind of ability with the ball and being technically competent, I think it can be very, very beneficial. You have a guy that won the MLS, you want a guy that won trophies, that knows the league inside out, play international football. So I had no doubt when he came, when there was the possibility of getting him in, because as I told you, I've been a long time admirer of his quality. I didn't know him as a character. I have people here that I trust very much in different departments that work already with him. And when they gave me the green light on that department, for me, it was a no-brainer. So I'm very happy that Justin joined us.
Finally, for me, obviously we know how good defensively Nashville is. They're having another strong season, third in the East. But do you feel like that they almost don't get enough credit for how dangerous they are in attack? Well, obviously, Mukhtar won the MVP award last year. Sean Davis. Do you feel like that? What kind of problems do you feel like Nashville presents to you on both sides of the field? And what do you think will be the keys to getting the result that you want?
No, I think first and foremost, I think that they are a very good team that I don't know now. I don't follow exactly what everybody writes on them, but I would assume that when you have players up front like Schaffenburg, like Pafapiko, like Bambury, and especially Mukhtar, as well as good midfielders like Leal, like Dax McCarthy, I think that for sure you get credit, and Mule as well, that I remember was a good player for Red Bulls when we played against him with New York. So when you have this kind of qualities in the squad, I assume that they will reserve but they will get credit also how well or how dangerous can be in the offensive transitions. Defensively, we know that they are really well coached and well organized. The key is the same. We need to be true to ourselves, play our game, play really focused with intensity, to be with a gritty attitude in every ball, because we're going to play against a team that certainly has got that. But I think that we have that as well. It's club, and I think that we want to be patient, but at the same time, patient with intensity in both moments of the game. Be really strong and really focused and determined and gritty with the ball as well. This is one part of the game that I want to see our boys to improve.
Great. Good luck.
We lost you there, then, John. All
Thank
right,
you.
Mike.
Good afternoon, Christian. Good to see you again, sir. Can you hear me okay?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I can hear you, Mike. Good afternoon, and good to see you as well.
Always happy to be here. The month of May for you guys schedule-wise has been difficult with the number of games you have played. What are you learning about your team in terms of their commitment and their work and the limited trainings that you have? And I'm assuming that you're doing probably more film study than you have on field work, because it's been a game every other 3 days for the most part for this month so far, and it's going to continue.
We've done both. We do film and we do obviously training on the pitch in a different way, in a adjusted way. But we did both, and what I learned from my squad is that I know that they are really focused, because sometimes we do film for longer than we have done in the past, but I can see the faces when we talk to them, and they are really on board, focused, and ready to learn the details that we need to improve on a weekly basis. As I said many times, I repeat it again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. We need to be patient, and we need to build. And to build, they also go through moments of difficulties, like it happened in the past, like it can happen in a certain moment of the game. It can happen in one half of a game. But we need to be, again, really focused. And I know that I have a squad here, we have a squad here that can face difficulties. And it's true that the schedule at the moment is hectic, but what better for a football player to play games? I think for them it's enjoyable. And the more games we play, it means that we are in more competition, and the more competitions we are, the happier we are. And for me, there is a lot of talk about, it's difficult to play every 3 days. Yeah, it can be difficult, but it's also enjoyable. I can tell you that to play games is, every professional athlete is looking forward to play game, not so much looking forward to training. If they can choose, I know what they will choose.
That being said, you've already kind of addressed what Nashville, they're in good defensively. They're good on the attack. In terms of your team and the way that you guys have played in this recent hot stretch, this recent run of success, wherein lies the success factor for you guys? What have you seen your guys do consistently over the course of the last 4 or 5 matches?
I think what we have done, I think we need to improve. I want to see improvement in the last third, when we have the ball, to be a little bit more decisive. I thought that we had a lot of chances, or chances to create chances, against Chicago in the first half, and I think we didn't play with the tempo that I would have liked. Because sometimes when you ask the players to play with patience, they associate that with being lethargic, which is not exactly the same thing. To be patient, it means to play with tempo, focus, and just to wait the right moment to strike and to build with the right structure, so that we can have different options when we have the ball. So that, but what they are doing well, I think that we are solid more when we are defending even higher. and we know how to, we start to know each other better and better. And that also is important because you can have a structure, but there are the finer details. So you know your player that is playing next to you likes to receive the ball in a certain way, likes to make a certain kind of run, likes to cover in a certain way. So communication and getting together is it's paramount. And I think the more we play, but this is not for us, for everybody, the more we play and the more we are clear about what we want to do, the better we should become.
Last one for me. Why ruin a good thing? Got to ask you about your movie question, Christian. And you know, I know you don't.
We come to the press conference because of that. Otherwise, I said to Woody, don't even bother. If Mike is not there with the question, I don't come to the press conference.
I know you don't have a lot of downtime in the season. You're not sitting around just kind of laying about and doing it because you're constantly working. But when you do have the opportunity to sit back and relax and kick your feet up and you're flipping through channels, what's the one movie that you have to watch no matter where it is that you're always going to watch to the end?
There are two movies that I like to watch from time to time just to keep me motivated, happy. And one is Rocky and the other one is Gladiator, because there is a bit of Rome in that. And you know, that part of me, the kid inside me, you know, they say that, you know, the kid is the father of the man because he's been there longer. So the kid that demand me the roots, and I have to see when they go back to Rome, the Colosseum and everything. So the two movies from time to time I have to watch like a mantra. They are Rocky and Gladiator.
Interesting that they're both combat movies.
Interesting that they are both
Combat movies related to combat fighting.
of course a combat. Yeah. And also I think comeback.
True.
Not just a combat, but come back, because both of them come back from very far in different ways. But and I love who doesn't like you know, the, how do you call the
Underdog?
yeah, the underdog. You can tell that we have been working together for a long time. You can read my mind, Woody. So it's like Sixth Sense, another movie.
Had a little break in between.
So
As long as
you
you,
know,
as long as you're not seeing dead people, I'm okay with that. Thank you, Christian.
I see myself in that. Yes.
All right, we'll do very quickly. Tyler, last one here.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask, in the game on Wednesday, Jalen was pushed up pretty far and ended up him getting subbed a little early. Was that something you planned for Chicago specifically, or is that something you're looking into moving forward, doing more often?
Listen, I don't see you. I only see a picture. So for as much as I know, you could be the Nashville coach. So obviously, I'm not gonna answer. Now I can see. Yeah, but I don't know if this is a mask or if it's. No, that was a possibility that I had and I wanted to explore. It was not easy on Jay because we didn't have time, and he was, the way he did it is, I had no doubts about his commitment and his intelligence, because he's a guy that lives, breathes football. And I love that about Jay. I love the way he trains. I love the way he is always ready to play. So it was difficult for him. It wasn't easy. I knew it would have been difficult because you need to have, first of all, you need to put a lot of physical effort into that. But and he was very good in circumstances. At times it was hard for him to cover, especially in transition. If we didn't defend it well, the first moment of the transition, things can go pretty quickly because everybody's talking about Mukhtar and you know, the ability that Nashville has, but I can assure you that Shaqiri is not any less. He's a very, very good player that can hurt you if you give him too much space and time. So when he had the chance to hurt us, I think Shaqiri was always dangerous, and that created problem on our side, especially on the side in which Jay went, because he created that. So it's something that I keep in mind, that we can work on that. We will see. We will see. We have a couple of solutions in mind for tomorrow, and it's something that I don't want to disclose too much, to be fair.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.